Flooding continues to swamp parts of the Tennessee Valley, including the Reflection Riding, Arboretum, and Nature Center at the base of Lookout Mountain in Tiftonia. You can see the boardwalk here covered in water. Channel 3's Travis Cummings has been out in that area scoping out the conditions. Travis, how bad is it out there?
Well, Calvin, we are headed south on 27, and this too is covered in water. Take a look here at the roads. The visibility looks really good right now, but of course you still want to be cautious and give drivers in front of you some room and behind. Now, I went over to Reflection Riding to see how they've been impacted. They tell me the flooding is doing more good than harm.
In the wetland of Reflection Riding,
we are used to having flooding. It's part of our property.
High water comes as no stranger.
It's a home to amphibians and fish and other things that depend on water, and it's a nursery for them and it's a food source for them.
Wildlife Director Tish Gelmer says this is the second year that water has reached the treehouse. She says while flooding can serve a good purpose, it's also a lot of work to keep operations afloat.
Once the water recedes, it does leave those sediment deposits on the boardwalk, which we have to clean up and make sure that's safe again for people to walk on.
Staff members are constantly monitoring water levels in case animals have to be removed.
It's easy for us to relocate some birds and move them before we get into trouble. Luckily, we haven't had any problems and everyone's safe.
Corey Hagan, the Director of Education, says rain or shine, there's always something to be learned here.
The fact that we've had sustained floods for 2 years in a row in the spring, it's a great opportunity for us to talk about the big picture of climate change and how that's affecting our environment here in Chattanooga.
The Nature Center is far from being closed for business.
Keep walking your dogs, keep riding your bikes, come out and explore the property.
Now, Reflection Riding does constantly monitor Chickamauga and Nickajack dams. They get reports from TVA on how much water exactly is being released, and that way they can learn how to respond. Reporting in Chattanooga from Thunder, Travis Cummings, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Travis, thank you. In Mississippi, floodwaters continue spreading throughout parts of that state with no sign of slowing. Water's been rising up to 5 feet in some areas of Simpson County. That's turned many front yards and fields into lakes. At least 3 roads were closed in that county as well, leaving emergency officials on high alert. Their main priority is keeping their communities safe. One emergency director in Mississippi says people need to know the event is not over there. Needless to say, it's been an interesting past week and a half for weather in the Tennessee Valley. Our weather team is keeping an eye on potential for winter weather system moving in Thursday. Make sure you have our weather app already downloaded to keep up with all of the changes.
The 2020 census is coming up, and one local organization wants to make sure the count is correct. La Paz Chattanooga says historically, Latinos are sometimes undercounted in the census. Lily Sanchez with La Paz says there are several reasons why. Many Latinos are wary of information coming from the government, especially if they're worried about the status of their citizenship. The Census Bureau says there won't be a citizenship question on the form. Also, language barriers can lead to confusion. La Paz hopes to fix that by rolling out census information in Spanish and indigenous languages.
To ensure that the information is well understood by the audience and they don't just have to sort of pick and choose what they understand from the language that the Census Bureau provides.
And we have more information about resources from La Paz inside this story in the WRCB app.
NASCAR driver Ryan Newman remains in serious condition tonight after a fiery crash in the final lap of the Daytona 500 last night. His injuries are serious. Doctors indicated last night they're not life-threatening. Today, an update. He is said to be awake and talking. New today, the Boy Scouts of America have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy that involves the reorganization of debts and assets. This move comes from several lawsuits alleging sexual abuse allegations that caused a surge in legal costs to the Boy Scouts. Administrators for the group say the purpose of the bankruptcy reorganization is to first set up a trust fund to compensate victims who were harmed while they were in the Boy Scouts, and also to reevaluate the mission of the Boy Scouts and move in that direction.
The Trump administration is waiving federal contracting laws to speed up construction of the southern border wall. The move means almost 200 miles of wall will be built more quickly along the Mexican border, according to the Department of Homeland Security. A 2005 law gives the DHS secretary the power to waive laws to accelerate border wall construction in areas with high numbers of illegal crossings. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News Traffic, presented by CHI Memorial. It's smart to get an annual wellness checkup. Let us help you schedule a checkup today. Visit chimemorialmedicalgroup.org to find a physician near you.
Roads are wet. Drive carefully if you head out and watch for some rush hour delays. I-24 eastbound still seeing heavy traffic as it moves through that ridge cut towards the 75 split. Also watch for heavy traffic 75 northbound coming up from Georgia headed towards the 24-75 split. Handful of accidents to watch out for. Crews are working one on Ringgold Road at South Seminole. Also an accident John Ross and Bennett. Market at Georgia Avenue, watch out for one. And look out for an accident on East ML King at Houston. From the US 101 Information Center, it's Mo with your Eyewitness News Traffic.
Mo, thanks so much. 2 women in Cleveland have found a way to give back. Camille Howard and Lauren Hahn had personal experiences which led them to found Hope for One Ministries. It's a nonprofit they started in 2018 aimed at supporting families who adopt or foster children. This weekend, they're hosting an event called Orphan Care 101. Their goal is